Welcome to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. For those that might find themselves here for the first time, thank you and welcome. Apologies because I feel like today's message is going to be a little bit of a mix mash, and there is a crossover with the Crow series, everyone, and I've been putting some Crow videos into this playlist. I'm going to be putting some Darkness videos into the Crow playlist too, because the two aspects are interlinked, and there are many crossovers at this time. But I wanted to speak just a little bit about where I find myself right now with regards to understanding the darkness and what has been going on my side of this understanding, everyone. And I've been in some incredible spaces of late, and fighting a lot of dark energies and entities, and specifically my own personal journey. I've been pulling out a lot of demonic forces with regards to my life, my timelines, and my understandings. And these are people that I know this lifetime, everyone. And I ask everyone to come to these spaces with an open mind, but this is my experience. This is what is being brought forward by my teams of light and my understandings. And I work with many different beings at this point in time. I work with my guardian angel. I work with galactic teams. I work in the spiritual realm. I work with my ancestors, who are my passed over loved ones, in the spiritual realms. And there's been a few that have passed, in the recent years, and they are helping me that side of the veil come to terms and understand with where I find myself right now. So, I trust that this isn't all just a fabric of my imagination, and I don't know why I feel called to share that, but also I'm not going to continue to fight to be heard. Either this is your space or it isn't, and please do not feel compelled to be staying in these realms. You will find your way, you will find your space, and I'm going to stop apologizing for what I'm experiencing and apologizing for sharing my truth, because it has to be brought to light. And I'm grateful for the spaces that I get to experience, and I'm sorry if this doesn't make any sense to you, but perhaps you were just here just to have a snapshot of an expanded understanding of consciousness, and then you will find your space, everyone. But I won't continue to try and defend my space here, because I know this is where I belong. But my life has been incredibly challenging of late at a personal level, because I've been having to come to terms with the fact of I have been working with so many dark beings this lifetime and just not being in the full understanding of what that means. And, this gets incredibly personal for me, and incredibly personal in a space that is incredibly tender, and something that it's a lot for me to bring forward, but I want to bring forward as much as I can in authenticity, so that others that might be experiencing the same things, they can perhaps put more of a name to what they've been going through. And throughout my lifetime, I have been in certain situations with people and not understanding why I was there, and feeling incredibly uncomfortable and incredibly out of my depth of understanding. And, this is in terms of coming into sexual encounters with people and things happening that I couldn't quite understand why it was happening, and being brought into quite extreme understandings in those spaces. And I think kind of glitching out and being like, why is this happening? I don't understand why I'm here. I don't understand why this is playing out, and things that just didn't make a lot of sense in those moments. But I felt incredibly uncomfortable, or something would happen where I thought, this doesn't feel right or normal, and I'm not necessarily sure that I can bring anything to as an example without getting too personal. But I guess coming into a space of understanding that someone that I was incredibly close with perhaps had an addiction to pornography that they kept incredibly quiet for some time, and feeling like I didn't come to this understanding without something quite extreme happening for me to understand that to be the truth somewhere, and being really shell-shocked by that experience, everyone. So just to give a scope of kind of what I'm talking about, that's what I mean. And I hope you can kind of put the dots together in between all of that. But this hasn't been the only incidents. There has been many things time and time again. And the understanding that I got given today, and yesterday was a horrific day for me. I felt all over the shop energy wise, and I thought it's a 12/12 portal. I'm supposed to be feeling, in great energy, and we have the Sagittarius new moon. I wasn't feeling that energy. I felt in utter rage, in utter chaos, in utter despair, and I thought, why is this happening? And then so many downloads came in today with regards to my personal experiences, my life, and understanding that my life just hasn't been my own this entire time, and I've been in soul contracts with so many darker beings, specifically demons, everyone, this lifetime, and coming face to face with these beings and them being in my realm of existence as people that I know, but me being in certain situations with them, and how they responded to me was going to be their judgment this lifetime. So I guess somewhere, now that I look back, I've been playing the damsel in distress. I've been playing the weak girl, the victim somewhere. I've been playing the one that doesn't know what she's doing, the one that's a little bit, I guess, promiscuous somewhere too. And me being brought into scenarios and situations with people, and me being vulnerable with them, and them having to decide how they were going to react to that situation was their reckoning, was their judgment, was how they decided to treat me, was going to be how, the rest of their existence played out somewhere in some timelines, and what was going to happen to them. I've been brought here to be of a layer of judgment for these beings, because I've been of a darker essence and a lighter essence my whole entire life. So me being placed in those scenarios with them was a test. And sometimes I would behave in ways where I thought, I don't know why I've done that, or I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why I find myself here, because I didn't necessarily feel like I wanted to be there, but I felt compelled to be. And coming to that understanding somewhere is incredibly challenging. And, to some degree, I do find a layer of empowerment in that too. But that is something I've been having to really release a lot of anger over today, is, knowing that I've been a pawn this lifetime somewhere. Of course, I agreed to be at this lifetime, but there is still a layer that, is upsetting within that, and how much in some spaces I've really suffered. And I wasn't able to understand why. And, the way that certain things played out, I was just incredibly confused by so many people's behavior, just because it was so diabolical and just cold and cruel. And now understanding somewhere that, they were of a very darker essence, and I was helping them heal themselves somewhere. And, that was why I came to be this lifetime. So that's one layer of everything that I want to bring into existence, just because I know there's going to be many others out there that are experiencing this too in so many different ways. And, we are dealing with a negative reptilian order here, and we are dealing with demonic energies at this point, everyone. And I've been guided to be looking back into Scientology. I've been taking a little bit of hiatus, because I've been channeling the messages from Aleister Crowley, and there just being a lot of distortion within that, and the reptilian order trying to pull him back into his field of existence, and finding it challenging to really be anywhere apart from trying to battle away this darker essence that exists right now, everyone. But in that time, I have come to the understanding that Scientology is just a fractal of the negative reptilian order, and also how much of this is tied into Hollywood. There are so many celebrities tied into Scientology, and some people specifically have been brought to my plane of existence the past couple of weeks. And some of you who have been keeping up to date, at some point, maybe in the past month or so, I was drawn to see that Taylor Swift wanted to buy my local football team, Notts County, and I thought, that is incredibly odd to me. She is a celebrity. What would she want to have with my Nottingham local football team? And that left a massive question mark for me, until I realized obviously the team one is called the Magpies. There is significance in the Magpies, and Taylor Swift being connected to a lot of spell work and rituals that she's doing behind the scenes, and the Magpies being a significant totem animal, but also that it's one of the oldest football teams and football grounds and stadiums to exist in the UK. And for some time, I've been watching this, I feel like a level of alliance happening before my eyes with regards to the UK being so intrinsically woven with America. And I believe that this started with Jeffrey Epstein and the royal family, everyone. And this like download came to me today. And some of you know I was channeling Jeffrey Epstein for a time. And, you know, if this triggers you, my apologies. But please go and watch that series, because I think you will understand why I decided to partake in that aspect of everything, so I could bring more information forward that is of great wealth for all of us. And, you know, I apologize to anyone that feels triggered by anything that I say in these sessions. But I know that me bringing this information forward is for the greater good of all of us somewhere, and my heart felt, you know, my heart goes out to you for those that have suffered, and that those continue to step forward into the light. You know, you're doing an amazing job, and I'm so grateful for your existence here. But this idea of that was a treaty happening with regards to the Negative Reptilian Order here and in America, and those two things crossing over. And not only was Taylor Swift brought to my existence, Tom Hanks has been in my peripheral. And it's funny because I did a reading maybe a couple of weeks ago for my other channel, Elemental Origins 22, where I do my tarot and oracle readings, and I said, be careful of the moon man. And I was like, I feel like that message is for me, and I was trying to rack my brains as to who this person is. And then I see an interview of Tom Hanks speaking about his exhibition that he's doing about the moon, and I was like, why is Tom Hanks doing an exhibition about the moon? I don't understand. There's got to be more to this. And, you know, lo and behold, I delve a little bit deeper, and we know what these celebrities are up to behind closed doors, and he is a celebrity that has been brought to the forefront of this idea of, you know, children being I guess just at the forefront of everything within Hollywood. And he is one of those people that is attached to that. And I thought the fact that he is bringing forward information about the moon is incredibly significant, and also why him. And I saw him do an interview with some people that were connected to NASA, and they were talking about going to Mars. And I thought, you're already on Mars. Like, you already know what's up there. You're already on Mars. You're already of the understanding of these extraterrestrial beings, and they just don't want the masses to know that they know, but we know. And, you know, Tom Hanks was speaking about how he supports another UK football team, Aston Villa, and he was on an interview show with Julia Roberts too, and she was talking about how she supports Manchester United also in the UK. And I thought, there it is. There's the link to all of this. Why are these beings, you know, supporting football teams, one in the UK, but also why do they care? Well, that was the main thing coming forward. Why do they care? And then I remembered that the capacity of energy that is held in stadiums that are so large, and the emotion that is felt in those stadiums, I thought that is why they are there. They are harvesting this energy. And I thought this makes the most amount of sense why Taylor Swift wanted to buy my local Nottingham football team. I thought, that's it. They are harvesting energy from these spaces. And, you know, those that are in the know, these stadiums, these, you know, big, I guess, structures, colosseums back in the day, they were there to filter in this energy, and they are harvesting this energy, and they are powering up this energy to be sent into all types of entities, and specifically, you know, the Negative Reptilian Order. And so incredibly interested to me that Julia Roberts was brought into my plane of existence when Matthew Perry died. And she was one of the first people that he dated, you know, as he was up and coming in these realms. And I thought, that's what it is. That's why she's been brought into my plane of existence. There is a connection there that is linking back to his death. And when I saw Julia Roberts in this interview, I looked at her and I thought, you are not the Julia Roberts that once was. And whether this was a negative reptilian, you know, guising to be her, or she has now been taken over, so, you know, her energy is completely fragmented, I'm not entirely sure, but I can spot a different being a mile away. And I was like, you are not Julia Roberts, the one that I know from Pretty Woman. End of story. And, you know, you can say she's aged, all of this kind of stuff. It's not about the way she looks, it's her energy. I thought, you are not a being of human essence that I'm looking at. And I found that incredibly interesting. And she's in a new movie that's called Leave the World Behind. And there is a really great Instagram account that I follow, and I saw another post pop up today, and the poster for this new movie that she's in spells out the word Baal, which is a entity that all of these celebrities sacrifice. Well, yeah, I'm just going to say it, sacrifice children to at this point, everyone. You can do your own research into that, into the energies of Baal and what these celebrities are doing. But there is just so much happening that is just, it's not even hidden in plain sight anymore. And I was getting incredibly riled up this past week thinking about all of this and just the blatant lies that we are told, that we are shown. And, you know, I think Julia Roberts even said, oh, we became possessed, when she was talking about her family starting to support Manchester United, and she's got sons, and, you know, they all go to the games together. And I just thought, we became possessed. And she was incredibly erratic in this interview. And I just thought, you all just find it incredibly funny that you can speak your truth and have so many not understand what you are truly saying, apart from us that are truly awake. And yeah, I'm really trying to work through my anger and rage with regards to these realms, because I don't think it is helping somewhere. But at the same degree, I do just find it incredibly frustrating when I can see everything, and I know that there are so many souls out there that are still under the guise and like none the wiser, and we are giving our energy to these entities, to these beings that we're not even entirely sure who they are at this point. You know, there are so many things going on. We've been told of cloning, we've been told of, you know, these shapeshifters that exist. And another one that I'm incredibly gutted by is Ozzy Osbourne. And I've been a Black Sabbath fan for a really long time, and I saw him in an interview for, well, they've now done a podcast, the Osbournes have now done a podcast, and I saw him speaking and I thought, this is the most together that I've ever seen Ozzy Osbourne. And I thought, it suddenly dawned on me, you are not the same being that once existed. And I realized that there is a very small realm in Hollywood, and they are all in it together. And something else that I've been guided to look at is the music industry. And I thought, there is a pattern that is appearing, and I've started to see it. And it's funny because all of these beings are in these realms together behind the scenes. They all make music together, so they all feature these names together. And my eyes are just so wide open right now that it is just scary to me how much these beings are in control and controlling everything. And, you know, the music that is being pumped out, and all of this like mass culture is so intrinsically woven into this darkness, into these negative energies, into this negative reptilian order, into the darkness, that it is just untrue. And it is there. It's on our TVs, it's in our music, it's absolutely everywhere. It's in the film industry. They're running everything, and it's so obvious to me. And I want everyone to just try and take a step back from where we are sending our energy. Who are we, you know, idolizing? Who are these people that we believe to be, you know, worthy of idolization outside of self? And I know this is not going to necessarily speak to people that are watching these videos right now, but I think there's going to be some stepping forward in the future that might find themselves here and be like, why am I watching this? And it's to show you that you need to stop idolizing outside of self and keep turning your light towards you, and start praising your own self, your own being, your own vessel for the light that you hold within. And I'm finding it incredibly difficult to stay calm, cool, and collected in these spaces, I think, everyone, because so much is just brought to my field of existence time and time again that it's just everywhere. Every time I look at a billboard, every time I look at a newspaper, every time I hear a piece of music, I can hear the intent behind it, and I just think, gosh, there is a lot to get through. There is going to be a lot that we're going to have to face. And, you know, I feel ready for it, and I'm so grateful to be in a space of where I can see it all. But it is frustrating at times, and I know that the light has already won somewhere, but I really just want to bring more awareness to all of these spaces. And I'm going to tag some channels that I follow. So for those that might be, you know, question marking these spaces, go and do some research for yourself. I'm not out here telling you that you have to believe everything that I'm sharing, but it is not just me. I'm merely, you know, a small fragment of so many other souls that see the world the way that I do, and that are sharing their interests and their, you know, their understandings of all of these realms. And to those that might be watching this for the first time and wanting to discover a little bit more about other spaces, other realms, I have a dear, dear, dear soul sister of mine, Shawna L Frances, who introduced me to, you know, to really stepping forward into my truth. And she's been channeling about the Negative Reptilian Order for such a long time, and she has some amazing channelings and understandings on her page, which I will link in the description below as well, everyone. And you know, there are so many souls that are on this path together that perhaps do not know that we're on this path together, and we are coming to a new layer of understanding with regards to religion too. And I think there's going to be a little bit of friction with regards to the extraterrestrial community and the religious community, you know, fighting against this darkness together, but not necessarily in understanding of where each other find ourselves right now. So I think that's going to be the next challenge, is facing all that once was, all that was guided by religion, and perhaps having to step outside of those paradigms to truly understand where we find ourselves. But I think that's all I wanted to share today. And apologies if this has been a little bit fragmented or felt like a massive rant for me. I wasn't entirely sure how to bring all of these aspects into a cohesive understanding. But please do follow the Crow series if you find yourself at the Darkness series and you're not entirely sure, you know, exactly what to be stepping forward in. You might want to start with some of the channelings from Aleister Crowley and his understandings of, yeah, the darker aspects of life and his teachings and what that was really about with regards to the Negative Reptilian Order. But I think that is all that I wish to share. I'm continuing to go into darker spaces and to be fighting, yeah, demonic energies and entities at this point, everyone, and pulling out people of my own timelines that, you know, cannot be in my life any longer. I have worked through those energies, I've worked through those karmic cycles, or I've helped them get to a space where they now need to step forward in their own light, in their own sovereignty, and learn the lessons for themselves, and, you know, pay the penance for perhaps the ways that they've behaved this lifetime as well. And, you know, I send out as much love and light as I can to all those that are struggling, all of those that are finding their way through the darkness, because it's not easy. And, you know, I've been there too, and I continue to have to step towards the light and remind myself that I am a light being, you know, because I do work in these realms, and it is incredibly chaotic. It's incredibly difficult to stay working within those realms and then try and live, you know, a normal-ish life somewhere, everyone. So my heart goes out to all of you that are awake, and, you know, we've got this, and I will continue to bring forward as much information as I can in divine right timing, everyone. But continue to, I guess, fight the fight, walk towards the light, and, you know, do take time to step away from these realms. You know, I have to remind myself that I can't be here at all times, you know, fighting this at all times, because I would just drive myself mad. I've come to the brink of, you know, utter madness more than once this lifetime, and, you know, I hit a mental, it's more mental burnout than emotional burnout at this point, everyone. And, you know, sometimes it's like I need to take a break, I need to take a beat. I can't continually just be striving and working at this, because it's not just me. For one, there are so many souls out here, and we are a collective of souls that are working towards this. So don't feel like you have to be fighting this alone. You're not alone, for one, remember that. And, you know, sometimes just say, I can't deal with any more today, and just put it down. Go and have some fun. Go and step into the light, and remind yourself that you are a light being, and you deserve to feel joy, you deserve to feel happiness. It's okay to be awake, but we can't just be focusing on the darkness at all times, because that's not healthy either. There has to be a fine balance, everyone. So enough of my rantings. I hope this made sense, and I will tag some other channels below that I really enjoy, you know, their understandings, and that it's a parallel, you know, at this point, and we can't be at all, and we can't be everywhere. So I'm grateful for their understandings too, because some places it really mirrors the spaces that I'm being told about, the things that I get to experience. And I'm grateful for everyone just sharing their truth and stepping towards the light at this point, everyone. But yeah, that's all from me today. Take care.